Hey, Galilee friends and family, it's Joan. It's good to be back with you. I know many of you know that I was away for 3 weeks over on a trip of a lifetime to Israel and Egypt. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about it over the next probably several videos and maybe for the ones for the rest of my life. There was so much to share. Um, we finally, about halfway through, we got to see some pyramids. And wow, those things I don't know if you've ever seen like a picture of the Grand Canyon and then been to the Grand Canyon. There's just a mile difference. Listening to music, but live music, seeing the band play, very different experience. And so it was just like that for the pyramid. So the first one we saw it's called the Great Pyramid. It's in Giza. Giza means West Bank. This sucker is huge. It was hard to see the top of it. I'm going to show you some of it. So here it is. It's 2.3 million rocks in this pyramid. And the average weight of each rock is 3 tons. Zowie. This pyramid was built around 2550 BC. And you can see how big these stones are. They got them from a quarry that was actually pretty close by. And everything was hand cut. What they would do is they would burn wood on top of a huge stone and then pour water on it, and it would crack the rocks. And they didn't use any hand tools, no horses, no slaves. This was all their work. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? This pyramid, the Great Pyramid, was the highest building or structure in the whole world all the way up until 1930 AD when the Empire State Building was built. Isn't that incredible? That is almost 4,500-year record holder. Well, did you see me in that last picture? I was in there. Teeny tiny little speck. Well, the Egyptians worked in teams. They were very well organized. There was cutters, and I talked a little bit about that already. And then the builders. They didn't use any mortar. I'm not sure I exactly understand how this worked, but they said they would put water between the rocks and that would suck out all the air, and then they would be stuck. And they said, you know how you put two pieces of glass together and then you put water in between, and once the air is out there, they're stuck. So that's how those rocks are being there. This particular pyramid complex is 13 acres. You've got the main pyramid, and this was a typical layout. You'd have a main pyramid and then 3 smaller pyramids. And these kings were allowed to have up to 3 official wives, and then they could have as many girlfriends as they wanted. But that's the basic layout of a pyramid compound. And they're built solid. This one is built solid up to about a third of the way up, and then they start with the passages and the chambers and all that other stuff to get through, to get to the bodies and things. And you would see small windows, maybe about this big, about that big, here and there through the walls, and that was for the spirit to travel through. We don't need that. These workers, they like to write things down, evidently, because they found a whole bunch of stuff, timesheets and things like that. And they wrote everything down, like what they ate, how they got the food, how they fixed it. So Egyptologists have learned a lot about these people just from them being lovers of writing things down. Now, this pyramid took about 20 years to build, which sounds crazy until you know that they only worked about 3 months out of the year, because these folks, like I said, they were not slave labor. They worked on the other times of the year. They worked their own farms or their own trades, and then they gave of their time these 3 months out of the year because they considered their king a god, a small g god. So they did it. They built these things out of love, misguided love, but okay, that's how it was. And why did they build them? I mean, they did not fear death. They weren't built because they were afraid to die. They wanted to protect the mummy for the afterlife, which, they got that part right. There is an afterlife, and they wanted to be, good and ready for it. So I think the takeaway on this for Friday Prayer Focus, I'm going to circle back to that now, is to build our faith on firm foundation. I was really impressed when I heard, about 17 layers was solid. And because you saw how big those stones were, that is a firm foundation. And isn't that how we want our faith to be? And we don't want to just honor our God, our capital G God, part of the year. We want to honor him all of the year, of course, all day, every day. And like the Egyptians, we don't fear death. We don't have to do that. And we know there is an afterlife, but we want to prepare for that in a good Christian way, in a biblical way. So I hope you enjoyed my little teaching moment here today. More to come. And thank you so much for joining us. I did miss you, and I love you guys. Before I let you go, remember we do have some Wednesday night Lenten dinners and Wednesday afternoon services, also lunch and a service. I haven't gotten to them yet. Jet lag is not my friend this week, but I'm getting better. So I hope to see you this coming Wednesday there. All right. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time I see you. P.S. I just remembered a couple things I wanted to tell you. I hope you don't mind. About the slaves. Yes, the Israelites were slaves there, but not yet. When this pyramid was built, the Israelites were not yet in Egypt. And other than the Israelites, for those years that they were slaves, Egypt has never held slaves, not even their own people, is what we're told. So that's pretty cool. Also, I wanted to point out that after the pyramid was finished, it was covered in a layer of gypsum, so it was smooth. And they said when the sun hit that, it looked like gold. So that must have been an awesome sight. So it wasn't all jiggity jaggedy, looked like steps like they do today. And some of them you can see at the very top, there's a little bit of some smooth stuff. But that would be something to experience, huh? All right, just had to share that. Bye.